It's one of the most misinterpreted when it's carried out passages of the New Testament. Let's take a look then what happens at Pentecost. Most of us might be familiar with Pentecost, but if you're not, this is now when the Holy Spirit comes down. The promise is fulfilled from God that Jesus has ascended unto heaven, and now the Holy Spirit is descending now to be with the church and to empower the church. And this is the first moment where we see it in full swing, capability, capacity inside the New Testament. So let's take a look at Acts 2 verses 1 through 4. When the day of Pentecost had fully come, they were all in one accord in one place. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven and a rushing mighty wind, and it filled the whole house where they were sitting. Then they appeared to them divided tongues as of fire. One sat on each of them. As they were filled with the Holy Spirit, and began to speak with other tongues, and the Spirit gave them utterance. So many things I want to tell you about inside of this passage. It's one of the most misinterpreted when it's carried out passages of the New Testament. Now, they are not speaking in the tongue, the gifts of tongues that we see inside 1 Corinthians 12 and 14, nor the reference of Romans 8 or Jude. That's a whole nother video. Trust me, it's coming. But this is different. This is actually what we see in 1 Corinthians 14, when Paul talks about tongues are for unbelievers. And before we get into any big discussions or arguments or whatever the comment section is about speaking in tongues, you do not need an interpreter for every type of tongue. This is one of them. Why you don't need an interpreter? Because it's actually speaking in a natural known language. We'd see that later in the text as they would say, hey, wait, that guy's speaking a language that I can understand, but it's not his native language. It's a different language, all right? But I can understand it, but it was a natural language. You see, it would be like as if myself, who does not speak Mandarin Chinese, was in this moment and someone started speaking Mandarin and I could understand what they were saying. And it was giving praise and glory and honor to God. That right there would blow my mind away. And that is what happens here. This is what happens in 1 Corinthians 14 when Paul says that the tongue is for an unbeliever. And then he starts putting tongues in proper, decent, and order for church structure, for church gatherings. That's what we see happening here.